Donald Trump, welcome back. It's Monday. It's time for you.
Good morning.
Great to have you.
Well, first off, we see a lot what's going on. The president's got a big speech tonight to make in Libya about Libya. What would you include if it was your gig?
Well, I think, number one, he's got to talk about who the people are that we're fighting for, because I'm hearing more and more that these rebels are aligned with Iran, maybe Al-Qaeda, and what's going to happen when we fight. We've spent over $1 billion so far on that war for the Arab League. You know who the Arab League is? Saudi Arabia and a couple of others. We've spent over $1 billion already on that war, and we are in that war, whether we like it or not. And the Arab League hasn't given us 10 cents, and they said, we're with you, and then all of a sudden they disappear, as is usual, and we fight the war. So we're spending money for Saudi Arabia. They're not reimbursing us. And who are we fighting for? I hear the rebels. They sound, oh, wonderful, wonderful. What's going to happen when it's all over and they turn out to be Al-Qaeda or maybe Iran?
Oh, that would be just absolutely be awful.
It's no different than Iraq, because about 2 minutes after we leave Iraq, Iran will take over the oil fields of Iraq as sure as you're sitting there.
So what do you think about, Donald, what do you think about people are saying, well, now the same situation's happening in Syria, so maybe the United States should get involved there? Do you think it's a slippery slope, and what would you do?
Well, it is a slippery slope, and more you realize that we're over there fighting wars to open up these governments, and they would have opened up themselves, because it's a mess. It's a total mess over it. You know, it's that whole part of the world. You just wonder, should we be there at all? Because it is a total mess.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of mess, Donald, I'm sure you were watching over the weekend some of the live images out of London. Anywhere between 250,000 and 500,000 protesters upset that the government, just like our government, is running low on dough, and they've got to make some big spending cuts. What do you think about when you see those images where the police have to be called in to keep the people from, destroying those shops? What do you think?
Well, I think very strongly it's going to happen here if Obama continues and remains our president, because he's not fighting for us. He's allowing other countries to take advantage of us. OPEC is a joke what they're doing, and China. I mean, most of our money is going to OPEC and China, and we don't have money for our people. So I would fully say that if this attitude persists, it will absolutely happen in the United States, and bigger and better than what you're watching over in London.
But, Don, I got to ask you, if we are having budget cuts and social programs that are going to affect everybody's lives are going to be cut out or cut back, is there a way to communicate that to make it acceptable for the American people who, rightly or wrongly, are used to getting these checks?
Well, I think you can communicate it, but I don't think it's really not that necessary. We're spending money and we're losing money and jobs to other countries that if this weren't happening, you wouldn't have to make those social cuts. We have people that have absolutely no idea what they're doing running this country.